The one and true Blade figure by Hot Toys has finally been revealed to us, boys and girls. He's looking really sweet so far, and definitely has that Wesley Snipes snaz to him. So let's take a closer look and see if Blade is worth picking up. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be diving into the new Blade figure coming out soon from Hot Toys. This figure is actually based off of the Blade Resistance costume taken straight from the recent Deadpool and Wolverine film. It's also important to note for those folks out there who aren't familiar with the Marvel movies Blade, that this is actually the MCU iteration of the costume and not the Fox Marvel costume, right? So it's definitely a little different in terms of look and feel, which we'll take a closer look at later in the video. Now, Blade is the third figure announced from the Resistance team from the film, other than Deadpool and Wolverine themselves. So it's good to see these reveals continuing and keeping us collectors super excited, right? But in terms of the figure itself, it looks like Hot Toys really nailed it with this one across the board, especially with some of his accessories. Usually prototype and early design models themselves sometimes look a little off from the original character, but this one looks really spot on, right? So a good win by Hot Toys from what I'm seeing so far, and let's dive more into his details. In terms of the accessories that Blade comes with, he definitely looks really promising so far. His accessories include all of the weaponry featured from the movie, along with a first edition goodie as well. Now, in terms of what comes with the set, this includes those separate rolling eyeballs, which are featured on most all Hot Toys Marvel figures now. Right, his pistol will looks really cool. Right now, would have liked for them to maybe have added a pair of stakes as well, maybe as a static projectile. Right, it would have made for some really cool action poses. Otherwise, the pistol itself still looks pretty good. A pair of throwing glaives, which includes two and not just one, which is really good, right? And it's especially cool to see that one has that like blood splatter on it to add some additional details to it as well. Another pair of daggers, right? So one standard and one blood stain, just like his throwing glaives. 10 pairs of interchangeable hands. The amazing bazooka with added rocket effect. Right now, this looks really great so far, and we'll take a closer look into that shortly later in the video. And my personal favorite accessory, the blade katana sword, right? So this was his featured primarily throughout the first three Marvel or Fox Marvel movies, right? It wasn't featured in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie itself, but really glad they added it as an exclusive accessory for us to collect, right? You'll have to pre-order him during the month of February though to receive it, so be on the lookout for more information as it comes. I also feel that like he's a couple accessories short as well. Like maybe Hot Toys could have added his iconic trench coat and or second head sculpt with fangs, right? But we'll discuss this more shortly again later in the video. Otherwise, this is a great set of accessories that comes with Blade so far, and everything is pretty spot on. Now, take a closer look at Blade's general design. You can see here that he stands out really well at first look. Like you definitely know who this dude is right out the gate, right? The body mold looks pretty solid in terms of size and scale. The likeness of the costume is right on par with the original source material from the movie. They've also captured most of all of its notable features, including like the costume, weaponry, and of course the head mold. Now, in terms of the costume, you get a nice shot of it on the left here. You can see all of the details that were added in. Coloring looks great overall, and like the different shades of black and red that they've used to keep that post-apocalyptic feel to him. The material on his top shirt and pants looks to be a pleather, like that really soft fake leather, but also feels pretty solid. And well, looks like it's pretty solid in terms of not peeling over time, or at least break that easily, right? The shot on the right features a more close-up of his bust area, right? Nice white weather effects lines on his vest, and really like how they kind of like came out and kind of applied that paint. A lot of small details were captured here, including like the straps, the emblem on his chest, along with that really sick belt. So nice standout there overall. Now, the only thing I would have maybe liked for Hot Toys to have added was an additional accessory, right? Which I mentioned previously, the trench coat, right? This would have put his costume over the top for me if he had that option, because it really references the original Blade from the first three movies. But overall, I really like how his figure body and design came out so far. Now, in terms of the weapons and some of the accessories that Blade comes with, they're really all pretty solid, right? Left shot here features Blade in an action pose, rocking some of those weapons mentioned, right? You can see that the glaives fit and are scaled very well to his body's proportions. I like how both of them are different from one another and can be easily held without issues and again stand apart, right? Also, the pistol connects to his holster fairly easily and has that nice tactical feel to it, right? And of course, that banging bazooka that he can actually strap on his back. This is especially awesome, so he can like be fully strapped up with his weapons without much issue. The picture on the right focuses more on details of his head and mold and glasses. Right, his iconic glasses are a must-have for sure. and a great look overall, in my opinion. Now, his eyes do feel a shade smaller than what I would have expected, so I like to just keep the shades on in my display. Plus it makes more sense, especially if you want a more tactical, like blade looking type of display. Otherwise, great details on the weapon and accessories by Hot Toys so far. Quickly taking a look at the head sculpt. This is where a lot of Hot Toys' more intricate work resides with, right? They absolutely got Wesley Snipes' likeness delivered very well with this figure. The best thing about it is it just feels older, which is very reminiscent of him from the movie, and it doesn't look too young, right? Now the hair sculpt itself looks really great with a lot of like peppersy type of sculpting there, along with that like single spot of white that stands out pretty well. The facial features and expressions are right on pretty spot on as well, for what I can see, which is good. Now, a lot of nice lines also throughout, like his forehead, the mouth area were done very well to just like keep that Wesley Snipes look. Also, the mustache that was added in because it just stands out as a nice feature, especially with that additional white, right? Because that's something you've kind of noticed from the film. Great paint applications on his face overall, like including the skin tone and the tattoos on his back and the back of his neck. He doesn't have an additional head sculpt though, again, which is kind of a bummer because like they could and should have maybe added a second one that featured him with an open mouth with fangs, because that would have been great. But overall, really great job of Hot Toys by capturing an apples to apples design of the figure for us, and it really does Wesley Snipes some really good justice, in my opinion. Next, I want to quickly take a close look at the bazooka like weapon accessory because it's just absolutely amazing, right? This is a great addition to a set and just kills it in terms of like weaponry that it comes with. You can see a ton of details on it and just like that likeness to Punisher's bazooka model from the film itself. Even has the like 12x scope on it, done very well on the top over there. What's even more impressive is the blast effect that connects the actual rocket and bazooka together. Right, it looks really incredible in terms of the sculpting, the color, and really shines out, especially in this type of pose. So the rocket itself looks cool when fired, but it just matches the design overall of Blade and just the likeness and realism from the movie itself, right? So I'm really feeling this weapon accessory, and we'll probably have to set up individual action poses like this. I want to display him and get some nice pictures over to you guys. Now, pre-ordering is currently live on Sideshow's site now, and feel free to use the link in our bio if you need help getting there. Blade will run you around $290 and expected to ship out between Q1 to Q2 of 2026. And remember that the sword only comes with the set if you pre-order it in the month of February, right? So if you want his exclusive sword, definitely remember to PO it this month. There's also a number of other Marvel figures coming out around that time, like the Human Torch from Resistance Team, so it should be a really good like quarter for Hot Toys as well, which is good. Otherwise, in terms of overall cost and value, I do think this is worth picking up, especially if you're a fan of like either Blade or the actual Deadpool and Wolverine film. Right, I'm personally going to PO this guy just because it's the first and only Blade figure released by Hot Toys. Right, there are other manufacturers that have released their own like bootleg version, but I feel that this one just hits on all cylinders, especially with the accessories. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for joining me today as we explored the Blade figure coming out soon from Hot Toys. Are you a fan of this new Blade figure at all? Or how about any of the other Resistance team members coming out? Let me know in the comments below what really stands out to you and if you plan on picking him up at all. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content and the coolest Marvel figures around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.